Yeah, my name is Ahmed Muhumed.
Did you contest in just concluded general elections?
Yes, it
You contested as a what candidate?
is. It's a deputy governor.
As the deputy governor.
Yeah.
Were you the deputy governor for the first respondent, the winning candidate?
Yes.
Will you confirm to the court that you are duly elected?
Yes, I was.
Was this the first time you are contesting for elective office?
No, I contested for governor in 2017.
In 2017. Would you remember what votes you garnered in 2017?
About 33,000.
33,000. And will you know you emerged as what position in terms of the candidate who contested?
Then I was third.
You were third. You confirm to the court that you are a known political entity in Wajir County having contested elections?
Yes, a non-runner. As confirmed by the first respondent. Yes.
Yes. Will you confirm to the court that you voted in the just concluded general election?
Yes, I did.
Can you confirm to the court which polling station you voted at?
I did at Lehele Primary in Wajir South.
Lehele Primary at
Called Lehele, L-E-H-E,
Lehele.
L-E-H-E-L-E-Y.
Lehele Primary polling station.
Polling station.
This will be in which constituency?
Wajir South.
Wajir South. Can you confirm to the court you are identified using the KIEMS kit or you are identified through a complementary process?
Through the KIEMS kit.
Through the KIEMS kit. Were people using the kit in the polling station for the time you were there?
Yes, yes.
How long would you say you were there at that polling station?
I think about an hour.
About an hour.
Yeah.
In the hour you were there, was everyone being identified using the KIEMS kit?
Yes, yes.
The 1 hour you were there, did you see any voter who was turned away for lack of being identified?
No, absolutely.
So all the voters who were coming were being identified
Yes.
and they were voting
Yes.
for the 1 hour you were there.
Yes.
Fair enough. Could you confirm to the court whether you visited any other polling station within Wajir South constituency?
Yes, I did for the neighboring Lehele dispensary.
So you visited the Hele dispensary. How long would you say you were there in the Hele dispensary?
About 20 minutes.
20 minutes. For the 20 minutes you were there in the Hele dispensary, did you observe people who were being identified using the KIEMS kit?
Yes,
Did you see any voter being turned away for
no,
inability to be identified?
no, no.
Not at all.
I visited also.
That's what the court is writing. You also
I
visited.
also visited Hogan Primary
So you also visited Holland Primary
in Wajir East.
Wajir East.
No hitches at all. Everything was going on smoothly.
So in Holland Primary, people were being identified through the KIEMS kit.
Yes.
Was there anyone who was turned away because of inability to be identified?
None, absolutely none.
Yeah. Did you see anyone who was allowed to vote even when they were not identified? Did you see anyone when you were there, both in Lehele Dispensary, Lehele Primary School, and Holland Primary? Did you see anyone who was let to vote without being identified?
Through the complementary system. Yes, yes.
Some through complementary
In Lehele Primary.
in Lehele Primary,
Yes.
some through the KIEMS scheme.
Yes.
But is there anyone who was not identified in any of these
All were
who was led to vote?
Come again?
Is there anyone who was neither identified through the complementary process nor the KIEMS kit who was led to vote the time you were there?
No.
So for the time you were there in those polling stations, everyone was identified, and those were the only people who were allowed to vote.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. you visit any other polling station?
I visited Holland Dispensary
So Holland, again, you also visited Holland Dispensary
in Wajir South.
in Wajir South. In Holland Dispensary, were people being identified through the KIEMS kit?
Yes.
In Holland Dispensary, they were identified through the KIEMS kit. Okay. Did you see it? Yes, continue. You can clarify.
No, I did for other polling stations as well.
So can you just mention for the court which other polling stations? Holland Dispensary,
I went to Megag Primary
Megag Primary. This is in which
in Wajir
constituency?
South.
In Wajir South. So
Megas.
Megag, M-E-Y-G-A-G.
Megag, M-E
M-E-Y.
M-E-Y-G-A-G. Megag. You also went to Megag Primary School?
Yes.
Do you remember any other polling station you went to?
I also went to Kulali,
Kulali.
yeah.
You went to Kulali. Is it a
It's
primary?
written as Kulali.
Kulali.
Yeah.
Kulali.
Yes.
Is it a
Primary school.
Is a primary school? You also went to Kulali Primary School.
Yes.
Would you remember any other polling station you went to?
Kulali is only those.
Those ones.
Yes.
Those are the ones you remember you went to. So you went to several polling stations. So in all those polling stations you went to, my question to you, Deputy Governor, is, were people being identified through the kits?
Yes, yes.
They are identified through the kits.
No hitches at all for all the polling stations I visited
Yes.
as regards the ability for anyone to vote.
Yes.
People were identified mainly through the KIEMS kit and with the possibilities of not voting through identification through biometric. There were complementary systems of voting.
Yeah. So everyone was being
Yes.
so no one was being let without being identified.
Yes, you could not have voted without identification.
Without identification. Okay. And you did not see anyone being chased away from the polling station
None at all.
for lack of identification.
Absolutely none. And no one raised after.
No one raised an issue at that time.
Yes.
In those, at least in those polling stations.
Neither at that time nor
Later.
later.
Did you have agents in most polling stations?
Yes.
I know you and your governor
We
candidate.
had agents across.
You had agents across.
Yes.
Okay.
And so did the petitioner as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, do you know whether the petitioner had agents?
Yes, yes. I can show the court some of the polling stations
Okay.
just to give an idea, a glimpse of that the fact that he ran a well-oiled campaign and he had agents across all polling stations.
Okay.
I'll refer the court to the petition.
Petition. What page?
Page 58. Oh, yeah, it's here. Page. It's not page 58.
68.
58.
Oh.
From 58
Of the petition.
of the petition. From I'll give you a good number of polling stations we have, just to give you a glimpse of the fact that the agent and the petitioner also had agents across. On page 58 we have Arbajahan Primary. We had Jubilee agent, Osman Muhumed, Jubilee agent, signed by him as well. On page 59 we have
58, you had the Jubilee agent.
on page 59 Arbajahan Primary as well. Stream 2 we had it's 59. Yes, we had agents for ODM and UDA. On page 62, that is Gersehoft Primary, page 62.
So in Garsagoft also you had agents?
Yeah, Jubilee agent.
You are Jubilee agent.
Yes. One Mr. Ahmed Sirat, I guess. Page 60. Presiding officer's comments?
So the PO has comments there.
Yes.
After that,
The PO signs. The PO's name is there and he signs. And the date is mentioned as well.
okay, and then after that, down there, the agents from where there's a table for the agents.
Up there, huh?
There is a table for the agents.
Yes, yes.
After that table, can you read for the court? Down there.
Reasons for refusal. To
Reasons
sign.
for refusal
To
to
sign,
sign,
if any.
if any.
Yes.
So if a PO, if any of their agents
Yes.
had, as you say, the 37A, and they had the turnout numbers, and they had any issue with the issue of the turnout,
Yes.
would you say they would have put the reasons why they refused to sign that form?
Yes, that's what it's provided for. Any agent who had issues or any contention with the results as announced will have had his comments there.
Would you say that he will say that the turnout provided to me by the PO was this, but this is what was announced in 37A?
Yes.
I am disagreeing with the result.
Certainly, yes. Should there have been any difference
Yes.
or any bone of contention?
On the turnout.
On the
It's an
turnout.
issue that will make its way to the
Yes,
37A.
certainly. Because that's a grave allegation.
That's a grave allegation. Are you aware of any 37A which had any reservation as related to the turnout by either your agents or the agents of the petition?
Not as
Because you have looked at the document they provided in the court, eh?
None.
None. You have been referred to Regulation 83 by the learned counsel, Mr. Mansour Isa. You are not a lawyer, I'll just tell you what it says. Regulation 83 provides that if the total number of people who have voted exceed the registered voters, the RO has the ability to disregard. And the second limb of Regulation 83 says that if what is in the result declaration form is more than the number of people who turned out, then the RO has the ability to disregard. That is Regulation 83 of the regulation. So my question to you is, having the information on the 37A and having the information on the voter turnout, is this an issue that any of the agents could have raised with the RO at that point?
Certainly, yes.
Certainly, yes.
Yes, yes.
So if they had any issue of turnout at that point,
You will have raised.
they would have raised because they had that information.
Yes. You will have
Are
raised.
you aware anyone who raised any of those issues with the RO?
Not at all.
Not at all. Are you aware anyone who raised that issue with the county returning officer?
Not at all.
Are you aware anyone who raised that issue with any PO in the places that have been annexed or attached?
None.
None. Are you aware anyone who raised any that issue with any DRO, deputy returning officer? And,
Not at all.
and you are the tallying center, you said, for Wajir, at least Wajir South constituency.
Yes.
And you are also getting, is that the position? Or you are the tallying center, Wajir South constituency?
Wajir South and the main talent center of the county.
So you are at Wajir South tallying center and the county tallying center.
Yes.
The time you are there yourself,
Yes.
if you see anyone raise any issue on the turnout,
Not at all. This issue of turnout is an afterthought.
it's an issue that when the petition was being filed,
Yes.
they were scavenging for
Foraging for evidence.
evidence.
Yes.
So it's not an issue that came up to the declaration. It's an issue that has come now when the matter was filed.
Sure. Certainly.
I want to refer you to page that form 208 of the
An electronic voter identification, EVI. And it reads dashboard. A dashboard, by my understanding, is a screen for showing instantaneous information, real-time information as they come in. And this form is available to agents. This screenshot is available to agents after the voting has been done. and the Form 37As are ready to be issued. The information in that dashboard on page 208 is an exact replica of the information captured in Form 37A in page 209. And this is what is available to agents.
Which one is not available to agents?
This is what is available.
Okay.
208 is what is available to agents, and at the point where elections, counting and collations are done, and Form 37As have been done. What we have in page 80 of the other affidavit, for one, for the record, these are not information not pleaded in the petition. That's one. So these polling stations from, I think from 57 to 62. These are not, polling stations pleaded in the petitions. Secondly, it shows, it reads on as the headline, Statistics Summary Report. The source of which we don't know. That was, I think, canvassed in this court before. But from the look of it, it shows that this is a report generated much after the elections were held. A deeper interrogation into the KIEMS kit and information extracted from the KIEMS kit much after the elections were held and announced, results declared. That information is corroborated by what is captured in that form on page 57, and it came out clearly in this court on the date that form was generated, on 30th August 2022. This is not information which is readily available to agents nor candidates at any one time of the election. So the source of which is in question. But what is available, as I've said, is what is on page 208 at that point of once the voting has been done. So these are not different, these are different forms. And the petitioner cannot cannot purport to bring this as evidence. One, the source is in question. Secondly, it's not what is available to agents. Thank you.
I want to, you are referred to rejected ballots. Okay?
Yeah.
In your opinion, and I want to refer to you to paragraph 21 of the petition. In your opinion, did you understand the complaint on rejected ballots made by the petition?
The petitioner makes wild allegations on rejected votes. One, he demonstrates lack of understanding on what constitutes a valid vote, one. Secondly, what is the effect of a valid vote to the eventual tally that constitutes the statistics necessary for declaring a result.
So to put it other way, are rejected ballots computed in the valid votes for a person?
Not at all. This issue was canvassed so many times at the Supreme Court. And this matter on rejected votes being immaterial to valid votes was elaborately canvassed at the Supreme Court. I'll refer the court to the case law of Odinga and another, versus IBC and 6 others from 2017. That case law at the Supreme Court and the subsequent petitions thereafter clearly brought out the issue of rejected votes being immaterial to valid votes. Irrespective of their number, they are immaterial to valid votes.
I want to refer you to the response to petition, annexure AAM4. It's a form 34B.
Which page?
Not included in the 37C that did not found itself to the valid vote is material.
It's material. Even if you add that to his tally, it doesn't make any difference.
So
But no, it's not even included.
So even if it was added to the tally, it's not material.
It's not material.
It's not material.
The petitioner will have as
Will you know whether any of the rejected ballots were added to anyone's vote count?
No. None at all. The rejected votes did not prejudice, the exclusion of the rejected votes did not prejudice any candidate, nor did they confer. There were no addition passed to any candidate. They did not inform the tally of any candidate. And the exclusion from 37C or B does not prejudice any candidate, nor confer an advantage to any.
To any candidate. And finally, what do you have to say? Having looked at those allegations of voter turnout on the rejected ballots and the petition, having read it, because you said you've read it, what do you have to say to the court as it relates to the petitioner wanting to annul your victory based on those allegations?
Your Honor, this petition is an afterthought, as manifestly evidenced from lack of any shred of evidence to the allegations made. As egregious as they are, no iota of evidence was adduced in this court to support the averments of the petition. It is one thing to allege, but a different ballgame to prove your allegations. Your Honor, I've been in these trenches before in 2017. And this petition pales in comparison to ours in 2017. No evidence was adduced.
Can you just clarify to the court you were in the trenches in 2017?
Yes.
You are a petitioner?
Yes.
Or you went through the process?
We went through this process.
So you went to the High Court?
We went to the High Court and won, the Court of Appeal and won. We only flopped at the Supreme Court, at the final.
Overturned at the Supreme Court?
Yes.
So you have been here before?
I've been here, and I can tell you it's not an easy task to vitiate the supreme will, the sovereign will of an electorate, of the electors, for that matter. It requires immense evidence, and no iota of evidence was adduced in this petition. This petition, as I said, is predicated on hearsay. It is enough. It's a KIEMS kit dashboard.
KIEMS kit dashboard.
Yeah.
What is your understanding about what you mean by KIEMS kit dashboard?
The information that appears on the screen of the KIEMS kit as they come in, it's a real-time information. Just as they come in, the information changes.
All right. You are asked about page 208 to compare page 208 and page 209 by Council Mahat. And can you confirm to this court what appears at page 209?
It's from 37A.
From 37A? For which polling station?
For
Dashboard are the same as the numbers that appear in the form that appears at page 209. For the sampling from what he brought us, the KIEMS data, is comparable to page 208 of your bundle.
not at all.
What will be the difference?
Here, for one, it's not a dashboard, it is a report.
Oh, it's a report.
It's a report.
Okay. And it's not a dashboard.
It's not a dashboard. What is available to agents is what is shown on the dashboard at the end of the tally.
Okay. So then I want to refer you to
A last comparison at page
Is a summary report.
Page what?
57 of Dr. Hassan's further affidavit.
It reads as a summary report.
As a summary report. Now, again, if you compare page 208 and
From whichever source.
yes,
It reads August 30,
understand.
2022. It is about 8 counts. This is an illegally acquired document. It's not available to agents at the polling station.
That document,
I strongly believe this is a lost cause. It is akin to flogging a dead horse. It is a vain attempt for foraging evidence from the KIEMS kit with the prayer that the court may give the nod for scrutiny, which is a continuation of scavenging for evidence. It is nowhere close to vitiating an election. It is a petition predicated on hearsay. It is a petition with no iota of evidence adduced.
thank you. So, would you pray that the court then dismisses this
This
petition
court
with
should
costs?
dismiss with heavy costs to as a signal to those who lodge frivolous petitions going forward.